I want to introduce to our program senior left leader, D.Raja, because there were concerns whether Modi would be statesman enough, whether he would reach out to those who distrust him, who dislike him. Do you think he did more than enough? Did he seem prime ministerial enough to you, sir?
It was a speech made by a victor, and it was a speech primarily to thank people. But at the same time, he took the name of Dr. Ambedkar, he referred to the Constitution. How far he is going to stand by the Constitution, stand by the prophetic caution given by Dr. Ambedkar? I am not distrusting, because the problem is RSS has come to the forefront, and RSS dictates what government should do.
But do you not think with a mandate as big as this
context
he's got almost two-thirds of the seats? With a mandate like this, he's his own man. He's a free bird.
I respect the people's verdict. I respect the people's verdict. I accept their verdict. But at the same time, since he has a massive mandate, he cannot act as he likes or as he is dictated by RSS.
No, but right now he's reaching out.
No, what I am trying to say, if he takes Dr. Ambedkar's name, if he refers to Constitution, India should remain as a democratic republic, continue as a democratic republic. If RSS dictates agenda, then you are somewhere down the line, you try to change the idea of
This
India.
is what D.Raja and opponents like him have said for the longest time. India has chosen differently. Do you think he's done enough to reach out to people?
I must say, I have the highest respect for D.Raja sahab, but I think his crystal gazing today is a bit off. I don't think that he is going to run away with this mandate. He is going to do non-constitutional, unconstitutional things because he thinks that he's being led by the nose by the RSS. These are not sentiments for today. Of course, one has to be a watchdog for anybody who gets a massive mandate. But I think today is Narendra Modi's day. Today is BJP's day and NDA's day. And let's look forward to a country. Let's see what he has said, that he will have inclusiveness. He has said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
And that's exactly what he's doing, sir.
And the other thing is he's punctured the brain of secularism.
Listen,
I agree. Of course, it is the day of Mr. Modi.
Today is a day that is a day of celebration for Indian democracy. He has won a huge mandate from the voters of this country. It's something to be celebrated by all Indians, regardless of what your own politics are. The second thing on the speech, I think two things struck me. One was the great sense of occasion. Like you said, he's written this play, he's on this stage, he has a sense that he is for the first time addressing India as the Prime Minister in waiting. And he timed that very well. And the second thing is something that has really been running through his campaign, which is the idea of looking at identity through the prism of Indianness. So he mentions Ambedkar, but he doesn't mention Ambedkar as someone only connected to the Dalits. He also brings in the Gaikwad to say that, look, all of us work together. The Gaikwad gives us scholarship. Ambedkar is a great man. It comes through cooperation in society. It doesn't come through division in society.
Dr. Laidi, your sense on the big Modi speech?
See, Sadanand and I were discussing, it's a delight to hear a Prime Minister or potential Prime Minister speaking. It reminded me of Pandit Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It's an eloquent Prime Minister addressing the nation.
Absolutely. It's a Prime Minister who's speaking out, he's reaching out. In fact, the joke in our studios when Narendra Modi was speaking was he's probably spoken more in the last 1 hour than Manmohan Singh did during the entire election campaign.
No, during the entire Prime Ministership.
No, that may be a little unfair. But definitely more than the entire election campaign. I'm slipping into a quick break. We return live with Your Vote 2014 on the other side of these messages. We have a very big guest lined up for you. One of the key architects of this victory. We're hoping to be joined by Amit Shah in just a few moments from now. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll be speaking out and explaining the big mandate in Uttar Pradesh. They've picked up 73 out of the 80 seats of UP. Would you believe that? Did you think it was happening? In a couple of moments from now, Narendra Modi's key aide and the man who scripted the miracle in Uttar Pradesh, who strategized and masterminded it, Amit Shah, will be joining us from 9 Ashoka Road, the residence of Arun Jaitley. I just spoke to them during the commercial. He's left, 11 Ashoka Road, where they were listening to the Modi speech. He's surrounded by BJP workers, making his way currently to our studio setup inside 9 Ashoka Road. In a moment from now, we'll have him live with us. But before that, I want thoughts on Narendra Modi's speech. I also want to introduce Alok Mehta, editor, Nai Dunya, and also one of the foremost Hindi journalists in the country. Sir, your sense on the big Narendra Modi speech. Did he seem prime ministerial enough to you, sir?
Certainly, because he's a leader from the masses. You know what he was also talking about after Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and Narsiya was also from the masses. But I think he speaks like a mass leader, and this is the plus point for him. And in last 10 years, what Manmohan Singh was doing is quite different than what Manmohan Singh with the nation.
Nalini Singh, this is a prime minister in complete contrast, as Alok says. He is the antithesis of Manmohan Singh. He is everything Manmohan Singh wasn't. If Manmohan Singh was quiet, didn't inspire, he is completely the opposite.
You know, you're absolutely right. But I think there's a bigger point here. BJP seems to handle mass leaders. The Congress, on the other hand, seems to think of mass leaders as a threat. So anybody above a certain height, their head must be cut off. So I think that this is what has really happened, and Modi is now the pinnacle of that phenomena. But before that, we had Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Now BJP is not cutting him down to size. I think that this is the leadership crisis that we have seen in the Congress party. Is this canker worm that has eaten the Congress party?
Shiv Vishwanathan, is this reflective of a much larger change in India, where people say enough is enough to the dynasty? There is clamour, not necessarily for Congress or BJP, but for a leader who deserves to be where he is, not someone who's thrust on the people.
Look, first, let's salute Indian democracy. I think it's made interesting choices. But I think what you see is a populist play at work. Because to a certain extent, here is a leader speaking to the masses, talking about consensus. It's brilliantly articulated. A bit tedious, but still, there's a sense of exuberance, there's a sense of joy, there's a sense of audience participation. Let's be clear about that. I think as an initial move, it's brilliant.
Okay, what about Narendra Modi's critics? Krishnanand, yes sir.
He wants to connect with the young people. So he said, first time born after independence, a prime minister is here.
But that's true.
Yeah. No, that's not true. But that's why he is connecting with the young people, voted. The
but
young
he gets his facts
there.
sometimes wrong. In 2004, there was a CPM candidate, Anil Basu from West Bengal, who won with 5,92,000. He's won with 5,70,000.
No, he's talking about the prime minister who...
True, I'm talking about the victory margin. He says the biggest
victory
margin.
Prime minister,
leadership. After independence.
True, but he also said in Vadodara, he's won by the biggest victory margin in history. Yeah. I'm saying we just did a fact check on that, and that's not correct.
Rahul, I think, it's not only that he congratulated the Baroda citizen, for that.
One is critics about satisfied with his outreach effort?
It's Rahul. I think it's not a question of being critic or satisfaction or all those things. After all, it's only those who believe in democracy can participate in a process of discussing election. Sure. I mean, having said that, I think what struck me was that. All these while, I think, if a student in politics or somewhere was in a quiz competition was asked to answer who was the first non-Congress Prime Minister in India, the answer was Morarji Desai, a fellow Gujarati. And today, Modi comes to say that this is the first time ever. He actually said that the Janata Party was just a bunch of groups. Factually it might be true, but the point is, the day Morarji was elected, all those who formed the Janata Party actually submerged themselves with the Janata Party. So there is some kind of a slight kind of a change that is being sought to be inserted into the script. It's once again factually right. The Bharatiya Janata Party government now is going to be the first party with a full majority that has come, but the Janata also came with a similar majority, and it was a fellow Gujarati, Morarji Desai, who was actually sort of made the Prime Minister by Modi himself.
But that was a disparate group of people who just come together in their opposition to Modi. It wasn't
no, I think to say that the Janata Party was a disparate group. Now, Advani didn't say that. Vajpayee didn't say that. And they were all members of that cabinet. In fact, the Janata Party broke down because there was an objection raised to Mr. Vajpayee and Advani being there. So after all those things, today to sort of, pull this string out, it's also something to say that look, this is the first time that it's happened, which I think, is also some kind of an attempt to to rewrite the BJP's own history, the Jan Sangh's own history.
Okay, in a couple of moments from now, we're going to have Amit Shah with us. But before that, I want to ask our guests, starting with Shiv Vishwanathan. Shiv, do you think Narendra Modi will be inclusive as Prime Minister as he's promised in his first speech? Or do you think the personality which worries his critics will emerge? Or do you think that's a personality that's now dead and gone?
Rahul, inclusive is a deceptive word. The word is consensual. Agree with me and we'll go along. I think that's very separate from inclusive. I think in a way one saw it in his humor. It's very paternalistic. The joke is almost as if he's in a parent-teachers meeting. He's cracking the joke, he's the principal. So I think one has to be careful here. It's a great moment. It's a great moment for democracy. One doesn't want to be a bit crib about it. But I think one has to see that one watches him as a psychologist, watches him as a sociologist. There are possibilities. He's populist. His humor is paternalistic. He confuses inclusiveness and consensus. But I won't beat that drum today.
Is that nitpicking or is that fair criticism? Sadhana?
He's some nitpick.
I think it's a little bit nitpicky. I would look at it a little bit differently. He is inclusive, but he is rewriting the rules of what it means to be inclusive in Indian public life. So for example, he said, Sabko saath leke chalna hai, we have to take everyone along. But he didn't go and slice and dice the country into different parts. He didn't go and make a special appeal to the Muslims, special Muslims to the Christians. He just said, we're all Indians. I'll take everyone along. So it's an inclusiveness, but it's an inclusiveness that places an emphasis on what you have in common rather than what you have that sets you apart.
Rahul, I think it depends on the definition of inclusiveness. If by inclusiveness you mean affirmative action, reservation, Mandal Commission, I think what we heard is none of that. But inclusive means growth, inclusive means better infrastructure. But I think from Mr. Modi's manifesto as well as his speech, I find that there will be less emphasis on populist, if I may say so, welfare measures and affirmative action.
Rahul,
I want to also introduce my colleague Anjana Kashyap, who's joining us for the Amit Shah interview. While we wait for Amit Shah to just come through, Anjana, he's reached out across categories. He's got women on his side, he's got young people on his side. And Rahul Gandhi, who's much younger than him in age, doesn't appear like a youth icon. In fact, people are saying they don't identify with Rahul as much as they identify with Narendra Modi.
Yeah, and that clearly emerges in the way he started off, Rahul. I found that very interesting. Achhe din aane wale has, in a way, if you go down to the streets, everybody is talking about it. So he started on that note, but he clearly with this speech emerges as his own favorite. That's there, that's up there. But apart from that, even I think the closest he came to all the mudslinging that's been done on him in the past 10 years was when he said fair NGOs, fair media. So I think that was also very interesting. But he wanted to keep it all
question.
nice.
I think it's time we put it on the show because everyone is saying अच्छे दिन आने वाले, but they're saying media के बड़े बुरे दिन आने वाले. So let me take it one by one.
Rahul,
starting with Krishna Anand. Okay, starting with you.
Rahul.
Because he took a pot shot at news traders. He took a pot shot at poll pundits, which is what we are calling this desk over here, poll pundits. So do you think while BJP supporters and Namo supporters के अच्छे दिन आने वाले, poll pundits के bad दिन आने वाले?
No, I think, see, this country has survived the emergency, Indira Gandhi. This country has survived Rajiv Gandhi. So it's not that like किसी को अच्छे दिन आने वाले बुरे दिन. I mean, that's not the point. But I just want to make one intervention here. Look, the crisis in the economy today, joblessness and so on and so forth, it's not one person's creation. It's a large systemic problem across the world. And I mean, that's where I think all these hopes about Achhe Din Aane Wale, that we're going to have 1 billion jobs or 1 million jobs and all those things, it's actually raising the expectations.
But you're not answering my question. Very serious question, very important question. Is material for all of us. Veer Sanghvi, amongst those who've opposed, did you write a piece which said he's got blood on his hands?
No, but I said worse things after 2002. I didn't use that phrase, but certainly I accused him of complicity in the 2002 riots.
So are you amongst the people jinke bure din aane wale in terms of being part of the news traders that he keeps targeting? And he includes everyone in it.
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea, but my sense of listening to Modi, one of the reasons I thought it was such a masterful performance was it was a victory rally. Take up from using the language of the young. In fact, he was almost like a rock star, the way he led them in a chant, and then he turned the microphone towards the audience, almost like Robert Plant asking them to sing Stairway to Heaven along with him. It was very, very, I thought, victory rally, rock star-ish, and yet the message was not, we've won, now we're going to fix people, etc. The message was one of reaching out, one of being conciliatory, one saying that we'll take everyone with us. All of this leads me to believe, and it's difficult perhaps to base judgments on one speech, that Modi will try in office to prove that he's more than just the leader of a mob of rioters or the inspiration for gangs of trolls. He will try and prove in office that he is a statesman.
Okay, Amit Shah has just tweeted, "Thode samay mein Election Express pe aunga, Amit Shah live." Well, I don't see him just yet, but he's tweeting about us. So I guess he will be joining us in just a moment from now. So I have a 2-minute break. With the permission of the poll pundits, or should I call you all, call all of us the news traders?
The news traders.
The news traders. Bure din aane wale of this lot for sure.
I think we are making too much. I mean, obviously.
No, so you're on the achhe din wali side. He's on the achhe din side.
I'm absolutely. I would say.
It's not about each one of us. It's not about, any one of us.
This isn't jest. You're taking it too seriously. Don't worry.
Don't take it. Yeah, don't take it. I'm definitely on the achhe din.
She's on the achhe din side.
Because be optimists. I mean, is it our birthright to be showing the dark side all the time? Be an optimist. Let's see what happens tomorrow morning. At least today, I didn't see anything in that which said, these are my victims, now you watch out. Tomorrow, I might sleep well tonight, but tomorrow you're not going to sleep well.
Okay, so 2 minutes.
I think
Amit Shah just posted 2 minutes ago, thode samay mein Election Express pe aunga, Amit Shah live.